Willem van Eijk was a convicted Dutch serial killer known as Het Beest van Harkstede. He was convicted twice for a total of 5 murders. Willem van Eijk was born in 1941 in the small village of Kortera, South Holland, then under the German occupation of the Netherlands. He grew up in a working-class family. His parents had a lot of kids, which wasn't unusual at the time. During his time at an elementary school in Tur, he was an outcast and referred to as Gekke Willempie, something he later used to justify his outrageous actions. During this time of extreme bullying, Van Eijk started to collect morbid items, such as dead insects and dried frogs. He did not enjoy studying and refused to. He soon gained notoriety in his home village for his cruelty towards animals. He would enjoy torturing dogs, drowning cats and kicking ducks until they died. When he was 8 years old, his brothers characterized him as evil personified. He had little contact at school and was an outcast. Van Eijk committed petty crimes for a living as his school career did not go well. During this time he started to dream about sexual abusing and killing women. Cora Mantel. In 1971 he picked up the 15-year-old Cora Mantel from Uithorn. Having missed her bus ride home after meeting with her boyfriend in Amsterdam, Van Eijk found her hitchhiking. He strangled her with her own shawl and RPD her, before dumping her body in a ditch near Uithorn. Later on he would explain he felt regretful about his actions because she had only lived for such a short period of time, but, "I finally had my chance and I took it," he said, giving more light to his intense desires and dreams to murder and abuse women. Her body was found on the 22nd of June 1971. Due to the fact that on the morning of the murder she was to start a new job at a jewelry store in Aalsmeer, the jeweler was, for a short period of time, a suspect. Oltje van der Pla. On the 19th of August 1974 the lifeless body of 43-year-old Oltje van der Pla was found near a road inside a cornfield. She had suffered multiple stab wounds, her belly was ripped open, and her left nipple was cut off. Van Eijk lived in a small, white houseboat which he had written the words "De Vrijheid" on, in dripping blood-red paint. Several witnesses had seen Van Eijk riding his moped on the same evening and in the same area where the body was found. The police arrested Van Eijk, and he immediately confessed to the murder of Oltje, and soon thereafter to the murder of Cora. In 1975, Van Eijk was sentenced to 18 years imprisonment and TBS. The details of the murders, as revealed during the trial, was so astonishing to the public that several judiciary guards vomited. Psychiatric reports explained that Van Eijk had severe childhood trauma as a result of bullying and rejection by women. During his therapy at the Van Meegdag Clinic in Groningen, psychiatrists speculated that his deviant behavior was the result of brain damage sustained during his birth. However, Van Eijk refused any investigations. He was combative about denying treatment out of fear of psychic disintegration. He was seen as one of the hardest patients the clinic had ever had. In 1980, while still in remand, he married his pen pal Adrie. In 1990 he was released and together with Adrie, moved into a house in Harkstede. Psychiatrists believed that his relationship with Adrie would prevent him from reoffending, but warned that subsequent female rejections could trigger a relapse. The relationship turned out to be a downward spiral for Van Eijk. Antoinella Bertholda Vertol. In November 1993 in a ditch near the village in Umatil the corpse of a 23-year-old prostitute was found. It turned out to be Michelle Vertol. During intercourse with Vertol, Van Eijk strangled her with his bare hands. Annelies Reinders. On the 21st of January 1995 the body of the 31-year-old prostitute Annelies Reindeer was found in the Eemskanaal near Appingedam. Between his release and his second arrest there were 8 prostitutes, and several other young women murdered in and around the area of Van Eyk's residence. In 1997, Van Eijk was a suspect for the murder of Anne de Ruyter de Wild, and in 2000 for the murder of Marianne Vaatstra. However, DNA tests proved his innocence in these cases. Several years later both murderers of the 2 women were caught. Sascha Schenker. On the 17th of July 2001 the lifeless, naked body of the 34-year-old prostitute Sascha Schenker was found in the Slokte Diep near Harkstede. Her clothes were found several months later near Van Eyk's house. They were found to have been thrown into the canal in a plastic bag weighted with stones. Because Schenker's clothes were found near Van Eyk's house, he became a prime suspect, and on the 12th of November 2001, police arrested Van Eyck. He soon confessed to the murders of Michelle Vertol, Annelies Reinders, and Sascha Schenker. Police also suspected him in the murders of Shirley Herrijges, Antoinette Bont, and Jolanda Meyer. However, Van Eyck did not confess to those, and there was no concrete evidence for his involvement. The ground around his house was excavated, however, there were no bodies found. As of 2013, Jolanda Meyer is still missing. Between 1993 and 2001, several other bodies were found. In 1995, the torso of 24-year-old prostitute Antoinette Bont was found in the Winscotterdiepe. Other body parts were later found in a sports bag. 2 years later, in 1997, the body of 19-year-old prostitute Shirley Herrijges was found. Around the same time, Jolanda Meyer, Herrijges' friend and colleague, also disappeared. Several other men were suspected of these killings, but all turned out to be innocent. Van Eyck never confessed to killing these women, however, it is publicly believed he is responsible. At the start of the trial, Van Eyck was represented by lawyer Willem Anker, much to the astonishment of the relatives of Shirley Herrijges, as Willem Anker also represented them. When Van Eyck was officially declared a suspect in murdering Shirley, Willem Anker dropped his client. After going through a series of other lawyers, Van Eyck was sentenced, on the 7th of November 2002, to life imprisonment for the murder of the last 3 victims. Van Eyck appealed, but the Supreme Court of the Netherlands upheld the ruling. Van Eyck several times requested clemency, which in the Netherlands can only be given by the head of state, and all of the requests were denied. In July 2019 it was revealed Van Eyck had died in prison on the 19th of June 2019.